In this presentation I'd like to talk about some of the big ideas in science education. This is all based on two books by Professor Wynne Harlen and others, where they looked at all the different ideas that form the things that we need to know and need to teach in school science. And they've put together a list of 10 top big principles of science education, and also 4 other concepts to do with the nature of science as well. So I'll go through the 10 ideas of science first. I'll go through these briefly, and if you want to read the document, then each of these points is expanded on quite a bit if you want to see exactly what the progression of ideas in each of these sections is. The first one is that all material in the universe is made of very small particles. Everything is made of atoms. These are the building blocks of all materials, living and non-living. Behaviour of the atoms explains how different materials behave. When you look at chemical reactions, this is the rearrangement of these atoms in different substances to form new substances. Taking a look at the atom, we've got a nucleus containing neutrons and protons surrounded by electrons. The opposite electric charges of protons and electrons attract each other. This keeps the atoms together and accounts for the formation of new compounds. Number 2 is that objects can affect each other at a distance. So some objects have an effect on other objects at a distance. In some cases, such as sound and light, this effect is through radiation, which travels out from the source to the receiver. In other cases, action at a distance is explained in terms of a field of force between the objects. So this might be something like a magnetic field, or it might be a universal gravitational field. Number 3, changing the movement of an object requires a net force to be acting upon it. So objects change their velocity of motion only if there's a net force acting upon them. So gravity is a universal force of attraction between all objects, however large or small. So this keeps things like planets in orbit around the sun and causes terrestrial objects to fall towards the centre of the Earth. Number 4, the total amount of energy in the universe is always the same, but energy can be transformed when things change or are made to happen. So many events or processes involve change, and these all need energy to make them happen. Energy can be transferred from one body to another in various ways. So in these processes, some energy is changed for a form that's less easy to use. Energy can't be created or destroyed, but it might be changed into forms that we're not able to make use of. Energy obtained from fossil fuels is no longer available in a convenient form for use once it's been burnt and used. The composition of the Earth and its atmosphere and all the processes occurring within them shape the Earth's surface and its climate. So if we're looking at the Earth's surface as radiation from the sun, this heats the Earth and causes convection currents in the air and the oceans. This creates weather patterns and climate. Below the surface, heat from the Earth's interior causes movements in molten rock. The solid surface is constantly changing through the formation and weathering of rock. It might form new rocks such as sedimentary rocks. Number 6, our solar system is a very small part of one of millions of galaxies in the universe. So we have a sun and we have 8 planets plus the dwarf planets and other smaller objects orbiting it. All of that comprises the solar system. Day and night and our seasons, these are all explained by the movement of the Earth and the rotation of the Earth and the orientation of the Earth as it moves around the sun. Our solar system is part of a much bigger galaxy, the Milky Way, and our Milky Way is one of many millions in the universe. Enormous distances apart, and we now know that many of the stars out there that you look at in the night sky all have planets around them, and will have these stars will have solar systems of their own. Organisms are organised on a cellular basis. All organisms are made of one or more cells. Multicellular organisms have cells that have differentiated according to their function. All the basic functions of life are a result of what happens inside these cells, which makes up an organism. And growth is a result of multiple cell divisions, the cells dividing and making the organism bigger. Number 8, organisms require a supply of energy and materials for which they are dependent on or in competition with other organisms. So food provides materials and energy for organisms to carry out the basic functions of life and to grow. Some plants and bacteria are able to use energy from the sun to generate complex food molecules. Animals obtain their energy by breaking down complex food molecules, and so they are ultimately dependent on green plants for energy. In any ecosystem, there is a competition amongst species for energy and materials they need to live and reproduce. Genetic information is passed down from one generation of organisms to another. So the genetic information in a cell is held in the chemical DNA in the form of a 4-letter code. Genes determine the development and structure of organisms. You can have asexual reproduction, where all the genes in the offspring come from one parent, and in sexual reproduction, half of the genes come from each parent. The diversity of organisms, living and extinct, is the result of evolution. All life today is directly descended from a universal common ancestor that was a simple one-celled organism. Over countless generations, changes resulted from natural diversity within the species, which makes possible the selection of those individuals best suited to survive under certain conditions. Organisms that are not able to respond sufficiently to changes in their environment become extinct. So that's the 10 headline ideas of science. As well as those 10, Harlen and the team put together 4 other ideas about science. Science assumes that for every effect there is one or more causes. So science is a search to explain and understand phenomena in the natural world in terms of the causes. Proposed explanations should be based on supporting evidence from observations and experiments, and there is no single scientific method for generating and testing scientific explanations. Scientific explanations, theories and models are those that best fit the facts known at a particular time. A scientific theory or a model representing relationships between variables or components of a system must fit the observations available at the time and lead to predictions that can be tested. Any theory or model is provisional and subject to revision in light of new data, even though it may have led to predictions in accord with the data in the past. Every model has its strengths and its limitations in accounting for observations. The knowledge produced by science is used in some technologies to create products to serve human ends. The use of scientific ideas in technologies has made considerable changes in many aspects of human activity. Advances in technologies enable further scientific activity, and in turn this increases understanding, helping to satisfy human curiosity about the natural world. In some areas of human activity, technology is ahead of scientific ideas, but in other ideas, the scientific ideas precede technology. Applications of science often have ethical, social, economic and political implications. So the use of scientific knowledge in technologies makes many innovations possible. Whether or not particular applications of science are desirable is a matter that science alone cannot address. Ethical and moral judgments may be needed based on such considerations as human safety and impacts on people and the environment. So that's the 4 ideas about science, along with the 10 big ideas of science. If you want to read more on each of those points, then do check out the booklet. You can go to the asc.org.uk/big ideas. You can download 2 different booklets, Principles of Big Ideas and Working with the Big Ideas. Both will expand on each of those statements with a progression of knowledge for primary school, into secondary school and beyond.